things that's really interesting when you look at how companies are engaging with environmental issues is seeing how they really kind of have to test things out. And for instance, one of the companies that's very high in the Nedbank Green Index is Woolworths. And one of the things Woolworths found that they were coming in for a lot of criticism around was about the amount of packaging that they use to protect food. And people going, how can you be a green company if there's all this packaging and I have to throw away all of this? And so they tested out this whole idea of what to do, and if they used lighter packaging, what was the effect? And one of the interesting effects of going that route is they found more food spoiled, and there was a lot more wastage. And one of the interesting things about food waste is it's actually one of the worst forms of waste, because if it goes into a landfill, it will produce methane. And methane is the worst carbon-related gas. It's the worst greenhouse gas. So it actually is much worse to go light on your packaging and end up with more food being wasted than to protect the food better. Obviously, using as far as possible renewable resources, but it's actually better to say package more and protect the food. So you see these interesting things where companies are being criticized for one thing, but what they discover is actually the issue they need to be looking at is the issue over here. So what companies discover in dealing with these issues is often not what they expected to discover. And so what you see is, for instance, a company like Mondi has tried to is using something called black liquor, which is part of the chemical byproducts in producing paper. It's not a lovely after dinner drink, it's just this chemical byproduct. And what they're finding is they can use that as a form of biomass energy. So they can use that as an alternative to fossil fuels. And what does that do? Well, it reduces their carbon footprint. Obviously, they're still burning something. It reduces their waste, because instead of getting rid of the black liquor and sending it off to be treated as waste, they're able to use it in a way. And what they found is, particularly in some of their overseas plants, they're able to produce so much energy they can actually sell energy back to the grid. So by putting on the environmental hat, they actually found things with important financial outcomes, because now they're more energy self-sufficient. And so it's become a huge move across that industry in terms of more and more forestry companies are actually able to run their own energy, which is quite a nice outcome.